Uh,
I just emailed, I was going to tell everyone that I just emailed that to everyone again, and I also texted it to you, Alan.
Thank you.
Sure.
Is there a reason why we're waiting?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Domingo, at 7:03, we can go if you like.
Well, because I don't have anything better to do. Okay, we're ready to roll. All right, is everybody ready? All right. On June 26, 2020, the governor of Illinois issued a statewide disaster declaration related to public health concerns. As head of this body, I have determined that an in-person meeting or a meeting otherwise conducted in accordance with the Open Meetings Act is neither practical nor prudent because of the disaster. This meeting will be conducted by internet teleconference without the physical presence of a quorum. Prior to the commencement of this meeting, all members of this body were verified and can see and hear one another. I further find that the physical presence of members of the public is not feasible at this meeting due to the disaster, and more specifically, the practical difficulties associated with accommodating the public in an accessible hygienic location that allows for appropriate social distancing. Alternative arrangements have been made to allow the public to contemporaneously hear all discussion and roll call votes live on the city's official website, on Facebook, and via Zoom teleconference. Notice of these arrangements have been given in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. The public may address this body consistent with the rules previously adopted and recorded and is adopted by mayoral order. Alderman Bill Farnwell, a member of this body, is physically present at a regular meeting location. All votes should be conducted by roll call, and a verbatim record of this meeting shall be made and maintained in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. Mr. City Clerk, could you read the heading, please?
Sure. This is the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Blue Island, Illinois, held remotely on Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021 at 7 p.m. as permitted by Executive Order 2020-07, signed by Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker on March 16, 2020, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. To participate remotely, download the Zoom app or call 312-626-6799. The City Council meeting webinar ID of 849-1680-7443. The password of 124144.
We'll call this meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
To the republic for which it stands,
and
one nation,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty
liberty, and justice.
and justice for all. Mr. City Clerk, I need a roll call, please.
Sure, give me a second here. Alderman Donahue was having a hard time getting back in, and somehow or another kicked him off. But Costas, absent. Rita, Rita, absent. Donahue, oh, there's Nancy. Just got back into. Rita, you here, Nancy?
I am here. Thank you. Sorry.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Kevin's having the same problem.
Yeah.
Donahue will wait for a second here. He said he's going to call in. Holly.
Here.
Holly here. Farnwell.
Here.
Farnwell here. Hill.
Here.
Hill here. Mac. I thought I saw him come in. Mac. I'll hold off on.
Here.
Carr.
Here.
Carr here. Zillman.
Here.
Zillman here. Clinker.
Here.
Clinker here. Steve-O.
Here.
Steve-O here. Johnson.
Here.
Johnson here. Alexander. Alexander here. Bellato.
Here.
Bellato here. 11 present so far, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to number 4, presentation of journal proceedings. I'll need a motion and a second to approve the city council minutes for the date of March the 9th, 2021.
I move Farnwell.
Seconded.
All right, thank you very much.
I had a question.
I'll go ahead.
This is Alderman Steve-O. Under automatic announcements, I requested that this be part of the official record for the Journal of Proceedings for the Public Health and Safety March 16th, 2021 agenda. I'd like to read it so it'd be part of the public record. This is what I requested to be on the agenda. 1, Illinois State Police Unsolved Crimes Unit turn over the Robbie Silva and Carlos Salgado case. Number 2, Fireworks Ordinance 2021 revised. Number 3, discussion on purchasing new ALS ambulance, new aerial fire truck. Number 4, snow removal, parking policy, odd-even address rotation. Number 5, water reclamation district, waterfalls park, security cameras paid for by water reclamation district status. And number 6, resolution 2018-010, honoring Michael Cornell. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You got a motion. We have a second. I'll need roll call, please.
Rita.
Abstain.
Rita abstained. Donahue.
What are we voting on? Sorry, I'm having
Just
trouble.
the minutes. The minutes.
Oh, I missed last time, so I'm gonna abstain as well. Thank you, Randy.
Sure enough. Abstain. Holly.
Aye.
Holly, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill.
I think I'm going to abstain as well.
Hill abstain. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Zillman.
Aye.
Zillman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O.
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. City Clerk, could you read number 5, please?
Number 5 is public comment. Public comment shall be by email only. Persons interested in making a public comment must email their public comment to rhoiser@cityofblueisland.org by March 23rd, 2021 at 6 p.m. Emailed public comments received will be read during the public comment portion of the meeting by City Clerk Randy Heuser. We got 3 of them today.
Okay.
First one is from Nancy Thompson. Mayor Domingo Vargas, City Clerk Randy Heiser, and the City Council members. My name is Nancy L. Thompson, reside at 11956 Longwood Drive, Blue Island. Been a resident for approximately 63 years. I'm a mother of 2 adult sons, of whom were conceived, born, raised, and educated in this city. I love this town. Many happy memories of me and my late husband Robert enjoyed together. I am absolutely appalled, outraged, disgusted with the present political situation in this town. We have a candidate that is practicing voter suppression or tried with every means possible and failed. Alderman Farnwell was exactly right. Then he said it was voter suppression being practiced here in Blue Island. Now we the citizens are left with a bill of $70,000 and still counting because one candidate and his boss cares nothing about the citizens. They only care about their self-gratification and dirty dealing. If you object or challenge your opposition's petition and signatures, you should have to pay all the legal fees, not the citizens. I have said in another public comment, my status is retired living on a fixed income. Why should people like me pay for another's greedy, dirty tricks? When I was alderman at a particular city council meeting, Alderman Fred Bellato walked out of the council meeting because Mayor Vargas would not grant him the floor to speak. 6 other aldermen followed, including Treasurer and Father Carmine Bellato. On the agenda was approval of the Longwood Drive to be resurfaced. He bragged about it to another alderman that he stopped all business for that night. We had a quorum and the grant was approved for Longwood after all. He is a man-child, has tantrums when he cannot have his way. I noticed scandals are mentioned on some of the political material circulated in the mail. The most infamous scandal that I can remember is the pool party held on public property, Memorial Park, thus ended with a body in the pool. We all know who that person was, yet no transparency or details ever given as to what really happened that night. The $15,000 paid to Mr. Sergio Acosta to investigate Mayor Vargas and the Tahoes should have been wisely spent in investigating you and the pool party. At least there were no dead bodies in the Tahoes. Fact. Restore Blue Island Party added extra expenses to everyone in the city. An additional law firm at $185 per hour. And last but not least was a whopping cost $70,000 and more to be charged to the many poor people in the city. Shame on you, Alderman, with the many jobs and the owner of many properties you can well afford to pay. To the many citizens of this town, please be very careful. Your choices made during early voting and on Tuesday, April 6, 2021. Make it count for the better. Thank you for the indulgence. Nancy L. Thompson, very concerned citizen. The next is from Carol Green. We need to direct taxpayers' dollars to our roadways. We need our Blue Island taxpayers directed towards necessities that include advanced life-saving services, Blue Island Fire Department equipment, Blue Island Police Department body cameras, and Blue Island roadways. 2021 appropriations needs to put money into advanced life-saving services, Blue Island advanced life-saving service ambulances and fire trucks, Blue Island Police Department body cameras, roadways, upgrade Blue Island City Hall, cybersecurity, upgrade audio at City Hall, and implement 20% water rate rollback. Appropriations is the biggest part of the critical process to get the people's work done. Still, this Finance Committee has failed to review and pass the 20% rate rollback as promised. Blue Island taxpayers have waited long enough. Chairman Donahue and City Council, will you please get the Finance Committee to review and get the 20% water rate rollback passed for Blue Island water consumers? The April 6, 2021 election has started. Last, Kimberly Burns. In the remaining weeks running up to April 6, 2021, City of Blue Island municipal general elections, it is disturbing to watch a number of the aldermanic committee meetings be canceled, stacking up city business for whatever comes next following the final election decisions. There are items to be reviewed and decided, but apparently not as important as mayoral and other elected roles campaigning. And then other city mandated meetings aren't receiving the full attention they are due to by not being digitally captured. 2 meetings, not 1, but 2 back-to-back meetings were not recorded because he forgot to capture them, but he didn't forget to attend. The convenient forgetfulness didn't capture the first review by Howard Kapari, manager of community development of the City of Blue Island zoning code rewrite. The zoning code that Howard has been reworking for the last year would otherwise cost city tens of thousands of dollars to be reworked by an outside firm. The City of Blue Island zoning code was last updated in 1971 with numerous ordinance additions and addendum approved ever since. The 50-year-old zoning code is extremely out of date, difficult to interpret, and has not been a city priority until to update until Howard took it upon himself as one of his goals when he began to work for the City of Blue Island back in 2018. The zoning code rework was born out of the continuous interpretive challenges with city zoning requirements of businesses and residential properties. I congratulate Howard for taking the initiative alone to develop a clearer and more concise, easy-to-read document that is estimated to be completed in full draft form by December 2021. It would be irresponsible for anyone to strip out unpopular zoning code requirements for political popularity purposes. This code keeps our city safely regulated, reliably auditable, and defensible against those willing to be irresponsible citizens and business owners. It defines standards against which your neighbors can't do unlawful changes to their property to devalue the neighborhood. It keeps legal costs down in defending against business owners who feel they can do whatever they want with their commercial business property and the city's reputation. The municipal zoning code follows federal, state, county, and local standards and laws. It is not a food menu. There are authoritative examples that are gathered to define the zoning code. There are people who are thinking for their own personal gain, and there are those who are giving back to the city to make a better place to live. Vote on April 6th for a better place to live. Respectfully, Kimberly Byrne, Chairman, City of Blue Island Zoning Board of Appeals.
Anyone else?
That's it.
Okay. We move on to number 6, report of city officials under the mayor's business. Do we have anybody from AT&T, or who's going to give the presentation regarding FirstNet? Chief?
I'm here, Mayor. I have not heard from anybody associated with AT&T today.
Okay. All right. Then we'll go on. The next one is a proclamation called the Blue Bow campaign. And it's called for April as being Child Abuse Prevention Month proclamation. And it reads as follows. Whereas every child deserves to grow up in a nurturing environment, free from abuse, neglect, violence, or endangerment of any kind. And whereas statistics of children who are abused and neglected escalate each year. Last year, Illinois had 39,160 indicated cases, whereas the effects of child abuse are felt by whole communities and must be addressed by the entire community. Whereas effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships created among the courts, social service agencies, schools, religious organizations, law enforcement, and the business community. Whereas Parents Care and Share, a parent support group program of Children's Home and Aid, offering positive parenting resources and alternatives to help break the cycle of abuse, is sponsoring what's called a Blue Bow campaign to heighten awareness of the need to support families. Whereas all citizens should become more aware of child abuse within their community and to become involved in its prevention and supporting parents to raise their children in a safe and nurturing environment. Therefore, I, Domingo F. Vargas, proclaim April 2021 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the City of Blue Island and call upon all citizens to increase their participation in efforts to prevent child abuse, thereby strengthening the communities in which we live. And it would have our seal on today's date, the 23rd of March, 2021. So I'll need a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
Alderman Stevo, second.
Alderman Stevo, second. Thank you. I'll need roll call, please.
Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Zillman.
Aye.
Zillman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Stevo.
Aye.
Stevo, aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. 12 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Under the mayor's business, we move to number 3. I'll need a motion and second to approve a request from St. Benedict School to host a school event on Friday, May the 28th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. They're also requesting New Street could be blocked off starting at the medical center towards Gregory. So I'll
I'll
need
make
a
a
motion
motion.
and a second.
Bellato makes a motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
it.
Who's the second?
Zillman.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions? If not, I'll need a roll call, please.
Rita,
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue,
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Holly,
Aye.
Holly, aye. Farnwell,
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill,
Aye.
Hill, aye. Carr,
Aye.
Carr, aye. Zillman,
Aye.
Zillman, aye. Clinker,
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O,
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson,
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Alexander,
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato,
Aye.
Bellato, aye. 12 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Moving on to mayor's announcements. I'm sad to announce, if you don't know, the passing of Jose Joe Ortiz. Everybody knew him as Joe, the fruit market right there on York and Western. I personally knew him again from his store over the years as an alderman, as a resident, and as a shopper in his store. It's unfortunate his passing, not only his, but I think two other family, at least one other family member from his own family there, and also a worker, a co-worker there. As a result, whether it's COVID or other underlying medical conditions, he will be missed. He was very much involved in his community. I know he's very much involved in the sports and the soccer organizations here in Blue Island, had won some major championships representing our city and his place of Morelia, Michoacan. He will be dearly missed, but not forgotten. The business, from my understanding, will continue. Again, his family is distraught, and I understand that, but we want to show our support to an entrepreneur, a legend in the Hispanic community as a businessman here in our community who decided to open up a shop here and had been going on for many years. Again, the passing of Jose, also known as Joe Ortiz, from Joe's Fruit Market there on Western Avenue. As had been mentioned before, the relief package that was signed by President Biden not that long ago, actually a couple of weeks ago, I had mentioned it to all of you at the last city council meeting. We're waiting for either between $2.8 million to $2.9 million from the federal government. We will see what we can use this money for, but that is the amount of money that is supposed to be targeted for our community, $2.8 to $2.9 million for the city of Blue Island. So congratulations to all of us, again, giving these very dire situations. As you know, ComEd has completed, and if you know of anything, then no lights that are still missing, ComEd has completed their LED changing of their light poles. We are talking to them, and we're looking into, I know the city council a couple months ago passed replacing LED lights on city lights in the midsection of town. The staff is looking to try to finance and see what is available for the rest of the city. Again, LED lights coming to the city of Blue Island, and it's a major difference, as you've seen and driven in areas of Blue Island. And also, we're also looking in some areas that lack some lighting to try to add additional lighting. So that's what we're looking at. I have some good news. Today specifically, we received a call from actually one developer and a businessman who's interested in the old recycling plant over there by Mozart and 135th Street by Broadway, wanting to open a clean business in that area. We will keep the alderman and the whole city council informed as to what this individual's ideas are for that location, and we'll try to get input not only from the alderman, but from the residents regarding that facility. We know that area has been, not only because of truck traffic, but because of the late hours of working there, has been at issue. So we will keep you all informed as we get more information regarding that. And just as a reminder, as you've seen, and hopefully you've driven over it, the Western Avenue Bridge, the west lanes have been reopened. And you saw they started with the heavy equipment on the east side of Western Avenue. And they're moving forward to try to get that done by the end of this year. And to remind everyone, there's also renovation going on the Ashland Bridge. And that bridge, I have, I guess they've asked our city whether we would have any objections for it to be painted blue. And I took the liberty of saying that no, that we would welcome it. That not only that bridge, but also IDOT has asked whether we in the future would have any objection for the Western Avenue Bridge to also be painted blue. So that's regarding those two major bridges over our waterways. The progress in 119th and Vincennes, they're working at is right now trying to get the fill in. I would think more than 3/4 of 119th and Vincennes area has been, the demolition is done. They're doing remediation and fill in right now as we speak. So that will probably be done within the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then we have also received some calls of interest for that location and also for the 88 acres east of there. In addition, talks have continued regarding the planning for Division Street. That's the $4 million that we received from Cook County. We want to again thank President Preckwinkle and the commissioners for believing in Blue Island. $4 million for Division Street from 119th Street to 123rd to handle heavy truck traffic, and also as another access into the yard and into the 88 acres in that area. We also received a phone call from the Southwest Conference of Mayors telling us that they haven't forgotten we're on their budget for the study and the two-way on Western Avenue. So that's very exciting. They're very interested in helping us fund that project to converting Western Avenue back to a two-way from 127th to Grove Street. So that received a phone call also this morning. And as you see, the renovation and the gutting of the old Kleins building is going real well. You can actually see the entire, if you look through the windows, even on the corner, they've gutted it. You can see right through the building. So that is for Ophelia's Banquet Lounge and Restaurant. So that is going very well. Given the weather has been beautiful, and we expect it to continue being beautiful, we've seen a lot of use of the Calsac Trail. People have discovered it again. Again, from the Blue Island section, if you want to call it, from Halstead to Francisco. And again, go out there, use it, enjoy it, and let all your family and friends know about it regarding that. We also, a couple of days ago, received some more interest by not only Chicago Fire, but Chicago PD regarding using certain locations. They asked for certain locations to probably be filming in the next coming months, and specifically in the summer, for their episodes of Chicago Fire and Chicago PD. And there's an interest again on that. And as you heard, $250 million by the governor regarding infrastructure. We've forwarded that information to our city engineers to see what is shovel ready and what could qualify, and what if that amount of money the city could get to do our residential areas and areas that are not covered by TIF or by CDBGs. So we're looking into that and getting a list, and we'll forward that list to all of you. And one last thing, a reminder about Division Street, Collins Street, 119th Street. They're getting in preparation for street renovation. Division Street is from Vermont Street to Broadway, leading up to and off of the bridges. So again, that's major for us. And so, you know, and we want to support our local businesses. On this coming Friday, the former grocery store right there next to Three Sisters, it's now El Tiburon, the shark restaurant, seafood, will be opening this Friday for business, as well as edible passports in the next couple of days. And you all probably received information from Premier Suburban Medical Group, 2310 York Street. Again, their family, internal medicine, pediatrics, cardiology, orthopedics, and the list goes on. We welcome them to Blue Island, as well as the proposed coffee shop across the street from Michael's hair barber, the old RCA TV repair shop, and a custom tire shop at 121st and Western, as well as Lopez Tire that's moving on to the old Jeans Cleaners by 123rd Place in Vincennes. And last but not least, the great news about the Lyric Theater. It's proposed movie theater entertainment center. They're renovating as we speak, and we welcome them back to our community. Let me move on. Mr. Clerk, do you have any business?
I have one request this evening, Your Honor. I need a motion to approve a request from Blue Island American Legion Post 50 to conduct their annual Poppy Days on Friday and Saturday, May 21st and 22nd, 2021, with rain dates of Friday and Saturday, May 28th and 29th, 2021.
I'll need a motion in a second.
I'd
All right,
I'll second it.
got it. Any questions?
Who was the motion?
Rita, Alderman Rita,
Thank you.
and Alderman Bellato, second.
Okay.
I need a roll call, please.
Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Zillman.
Aye.
Zillman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O.
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. 12 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Any bids, City Clerk?
No bids.
All right, we move on to City Treasurer. I'll need a motion and a second for the number one, approval of interfund transfers from unrestricted and restricted accounts.
Mayor, I move on that motion.
All right, thank you, sir. Do you have a second?
Polly.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Alderman. If no questions, I'll need a roll call, please.
Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Zillman.
Aye.
Zillman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O.
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson.
No.
Johnson, no. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. 11 ayes and 1 no, Your Honor.
Thank you. We'll move on to number two regarding the treasurer's cash collection receipt report, and then no treasurer's announcements. City Attorney, any business?
Thank you, Mayor. I do not have any.
Thank you very much. Community Development Committee?
There was no agenda items, so there was no meeting last month, and the next one is the second week of April, second Wednesday of April.
Thank you very much. Finance Committee?
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple items before the City Council tonight. First, I'd like to make a motion for approval of payroll for March 19th, 2021. It's in the amount of $357,519.06. I move to approve.
I'd
Got a
like to
motion?
second it.
All right, thank you very much. Alderman, if no questions, roll call, please.
Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Zillman.
Aye.
Zillman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O.
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. 12 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
All right, next, I have a motion for approval accounts payable. It's for March 24th, 2021. So this number is different. So at finance yesterday, at the request of the city treasurer, we pulled two payments to Thornton's, which they're not due until May. So the city treasurer asked if we could hold off and just pay those at two separate times. So the new amount is $563,072. I'd like to make a motion for approval, please.
Got a motion? Do you
second.
have
Well, the
a second?
Thorntons, and just to further clarify, the Thornton payments are what we pay them every year as part of the redevelopment agreement and the TIF agreement. The city has the money to pay it now, but we just thought it was more financially feasible to spread the payments out since we still have 6 weeks or so to pay them.
Got it. You got a motion? We have a second.
Who was
Any
the second?
question?
Who was the second? I'm sorry. Bellato, were you the second?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Yes, Kevin, what was the
A
second?
lot
thing
of
that you were
background
speaking
noise.
Okay, do we got a motion? We got a
I'm sorry,
second?
I'm sorry, Mayor. Alderman Farnwell had a question. I
Go ahead,
didn't
Alderman.
understand it, though.
Go ahead.
Was there a second payment you said that was also removed?
There was 2 payments totaling $137,718.58. Both of them were to Thornton's Inc., I think, or Thornton's LLC. Both there's 2 payments to Thornton's totaled about $138,000.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we got a motion second. If no questions, roll call, please.
Rita,
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue,
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Holly,
Aye.
Holly, aye. Farnwell,
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill,
Aye.
Hill, aye. Carr,
Aye.
Carr, aye. Zillman,
Aye.
Zillman, aye. Clinker,
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O,
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson,
No.
Johnson, no. Alexander,
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato,
Aye.
Bellato, aye. 11 ayes and 1 no, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
All right, next, I have number 3, ordinance number 2021-005. It's an ordinance providing an appropriation for the corporate purposes for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2021, and ending December 31st, 2021. I know I spoke a little bit in the public hearing about some things, but I just wanted some high-level highlights really quick for everyone. So compared to 2020, the appropriation's relatively flat. We're spending about $643,000 more this year. Most of the relative reason for that is there's a significant bump in the fire department budget, about $1 million, and it's going to fund a couple different things: purchase of ALS equipment, paying for the training and the materials for the firefighters to get trained for ALS, paying for the overtime. It also covers in case the fire department went from having 3 lieutenants to 6 lieutenants. That's appropriated for in this. Going to the police department, we included purchase of body cameras as well as the data. This year will be the more expensive of it because we will be purchasing body cameras this year as well as the package or the storage facilities for it. But next year we'll just have to pay for the storage and then an employee to maintain this data and process it all. Going down into the appropriation, some other highlights: the Public Works, we're purchasing a couple new dump trucks for them. They're similar right now. We have F450s with the beds that raise and lower. They're used for snow fighting, picking up trash in the alleys. These new equipment, they will be F550s, so will now not as big as the ones you'll sometimes see on Western. They're just a little size bigger. Same material, stainless steel beds. They do well in the rust. The other trucks we purchased, I think, was 2014, 2015, so they were due as well. They're also getting a new front end loader, and according to Superintendent Postal, that's one of their most important pieces of equipment there. It's always in the snow fighting. It's running the salt onto the trucks. It's helping move things in the alleys. It's a very critical piece of equipment, and it's been on their last leg for a couple of years, so that's included in this budget. So I know we've all, as the aldermen and probably city employees, we're getting spammed with a lot of emails. There's money in this, or we're getting a lot of spam emails. There's money in this appropriation for the IT department to purchase a better spam filter, as well as purchase some new security rights for the system, the internal computer systems the Tollway, geez, it's my real job. The city of Blue Island uses for keeping the computers and our information safe. If you guys remember, a couple of years ago, we were hacked by some scrupulous people, and had lost access to a lot of things. So having these licenses paid for obviously further protects us. I know we talked yesterday in finance about including an upgrade for the city hall audio system. Paul Halleck, though, until he's going to look at it and do some testing and try and figure out the best way to go. So we did not include that money at this time, but it is something that is being reviewed and investigated. And what Paul's hoping to find is that there might be a cheaper solution than having to purchase the more outright expensive one. So that's not included. I just wanted to bring everyone up to speed on that. Again, this is relatively flat, $650,000 more, well, $643,000 more. I know, as other aldermen brought up during the meeting last night, the meeting before, and in the public hearing about the revenues being off and some of them not making sense. We did fix some of them last week. There are still some that are off. Again, they are projections. They're projections by professional people. This isn't Kevin Donahue just coming up with these numbers. These are historic numbers. They're coming from a professional accounting firm that specialize in this type of accounting. So they're, again, as their projections or guesses, they are good projections. They are good guesses. They are stuff we can trust. I'd be happy to answer any other further questions. And I encourage and I vote for passage. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you need a second for right now before we go into questions?
You should get a second before you go into questions. Yes,
All right.
Mayor.
Is there a second?
Alderman Hill.
Thank you. Questions?
I have one, or probably more than one. Chairman Donahue, are any of my questions regarding the revenues that I brought up last night and that I emailed you today going to be addressed, or are we just going to forget about that?
So I see Chris Chambly from Warner's Dorn Rogers. He's took over for Dave Myers, who's been our financial consultant for this stuff. I see he's on the Zoom call. And I know I sent that to Chris this morning, almost immediately after you sent it to me. So Chris, I'm going to lean on you because I've not heard back from you regarding the questions that Alderman Klinker sent this morning.
Not a problem. So I can address a couple of them. I'm still diving deeper into the concerns of those. So the ones that you had questions on are the ones that we can't tie back directly for 2020 actual incomes. We can't tie those back to source data without diving deeper into it. But the ones I did have answers for was, it looks like your one question you had was the liquor license, that it's just being coded somewhere incorrectly. I'm diving deeper in there to figure out where that's being coded to in the general ledger. Obviously there are liquor licenses coming in. And another one that you had a question on was the grants, the fire safer, that's 186,000. I believe during not last night's meeting, but the week before, that was addressed as an item the fire chief was going to be applying for this year. The reason why it was zero is it was not applied for last year, even though it was in the works to be done so, and it should be going forward.
Chris, I just interjected just to clarify on that this is money that the city, the stipend grants money the city received or will be receiving to hire 3 firefighters. Chief Rita and the past finance director were both in the process of actually going to the state and getting the money, but they just ran out of time on it and through with some of the changeover. But Chief Rita has committed and promised that it'll be a focus of his to make sure that we get this money in fiscal year 2021 to cover those expenses. So it's a grant the city already received. We have just not received the actual funding for it yet. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
And then the other ones I'm still looking deeper into. Like I said, they're a little bit difficult to tie out to the source data. Just having taken this over a couple of weeks myself, I'm still trying to tie out the 2020 actual for a few of those. But so for some of those line items, that's where you're seeing last year's appropriations being repeated again this year.
So I'm gonna make my point one more time, Mr. Donahue. We were told back in November with a timeline from the finance department that we'd be included in this process. We should have seen this at least 3 or 4 times in the finance committee. According to the timeline, I have it here in front of me. The projected date for approval was the 2nd week in February by the whole entire city council. It does say at the bottom, it's illustrative purposes only. I get that. I realize things change, but it also says it's going to be used as a guideline to hold the finance team accountable. I just want to go on record once again. It's not like I'm beating a dead horse. I brought it up last night. I brought it up earlier. We didn't see this till 3 weeks ago. at least, I'm not sure if anyone else has, I believe Alderman Alexander's been asking also for numbers for quite some time now that we've not gotten. So my question is, and those few that Chris just went over, thank you, Chris, for that. I appreciate that. I realize that about the fire grant. Chief Rita did explain that, and I shouldn't have highlighted that one. But there's quite a few other ones that are way over what we collected last year and way over what we collected 2 years ago pre-COVID. And those are my concerns, that those numbers, we're not going to hit those numbers. And if we're basing this on that as revenue, and we're basing our expenses on what we're projecting that we're going to get, it sounds like we're just actually using last year's numbers on a couple of these cases. And last year we didn't have a finance director when we did all this. So who knows how correct that was. My point is that these revenues aren't right. That's my personal opinion. And I don't think we should go further with this based on revenues that are essentially guesses at some points, at least, is basically what he just said. Thank you.
I have a question. Okay.
Sure. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Rand.
I have a question. If it didn't pass through finance, could we wait another week and work on it to get this right so we all agree? So there's no problem?
It failed 2-2 in finance. I thought that we could maybe try and get it done today. But I want to pass it tonight. I think it'd just be better to get it over with and done with, because again, we're going back on money that the city did receive. There's not a question the city received X, Y, and Z in the revenue. Like we're showing we have this money. It's just it was coded incorrectly, and it might have been coded incorrectly because the employee didn't know how to code it. It was coded wrong in Smart Fusion. It's not like it's showing revenues in the expenditures, but you could see how much money we brought in for fiscal year 2020. It's not like that. It's a fake number. That's money that was brought into the city. The discrepancies, what's happening is there's a lot of numbers that just don't add up, or they should add up. And again, as Chris was saying, that it's really, I think, just the source data, where it's just coded by past employees incorrectly because they didn't receive the training or they just didn't know what they're doing. So I think that's a clarification we need too. We're not the revenue that's in here. It's actual revenue. There's an actual line. So it's not Kevin Donahue and Chris and whoever.
My question, Kevin, is the projected revenues for this year based on numbers. And if you're saying that the numbers that are entered, the actual revenues from last year, are incorrectly coded, that means they're in another column. Once again, there's discrepancies that need to be straightened away. If they put something in the wrong column, then something else is going to be off. You follow what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I follow what you're saying, but it's a technical error. It's not.
No, it's a real error, Kevin. It's a real error.
It's a real error, but we're not fighting. The money's there. I'm not making money up. Like I'm not
arguing the money from last year, the actual revenues that we collected. What I'm saying is we're basing numbers, and I'll give you one example. We're looking at collecting commuter lot revenue. $150,000 is what we projected this year. Last year we collected $47,000. The year before we collected like $23,000. Kevin, that's a huge difference.
But again, I think the year before it was coded incorrectly. Last year we had no one. I drive past the Metro lots every day. I live by 3 of them.
Kevin, we collected more last year than we did the year before when there was.
Again, but I think it was just everything's coded incorrectly. We had an incompetent employee.
Well,
we brought someone on who we thought could fix it. It didn't work out. Things happened, and she struggled with it too.
The fact that you're saying that stuff is coded incorrectly is more than enough reason that we shouldn't go by this document. I rest my case.
When does it have to be passed by? My question, sorry to interrupt.
It has to be passed by next Wednesday.
So can we look at this over and have another meeting or no? Table it for a week? So this way we can get clarification?
I second that. I think that we should table this appropriation. Because I think that Alderman Clinker brings up some good points.
I'm just asking. I'm just curious. If we could just wait, would it be an issue if we wait a couple more days and have time to go over it?
I think we have until March 31st.
Kevin, I know, Kevin, you put a lot of work into this, and I know that, and I'm just asking.
Alderman Donahue, you said your vote last night was 2-2. Which committee member was missing?
Alderman Blotto is missing, but I'm not getting into the politics of where people are. People have families. People have things going on. I don't see the relevance in that. There was a motion to table made by Alderman Dillman and a second by Alderman Rita. I disagree with it. I'm going to vote no to table. I want to get this done. I stand by the product. I stand by what Chris did. And it sucks. We got it 3 weeks ago. I would have liked to seen this months ago. Trust me, this is a lot of information. And people have been on city council meetings for a while. I feel like going through this stuff, looking at it and really knowing what's happening. I've had to spend a lot of extra late days and early mornings trying to really study this and prepare myself for what's going on. So I get it. The crunches, the deadline's next week. We have to get it done. I can't argue. There's motions are being made. So I'm not here to argue with it. I'm here to pass the city's budget so the city could have fun, so there could be money to fund the city operations for the next year.
Alderman Andrews,
This is Alderman Carr.
I just wanted to clarify, Alderman Donahue, this is not an attack upon you at all. I know that the Finance Committee has been fighting to get information over the past, 8 months or so. I remember when I was Finance Committee, we relied on the data that was given to us by the mayor and his administration, and you can only go by what.
Alderman, you better watch your mouth, young lady.
What?
Yes. Your accusations? Yeah.
Okay,
I'm stating facts. We go by the information that is given us.
Well, as a matter of parliamentary procedure, you have a motion and a second to table the ordinance. A motion to table generally doesn't, or argument or discussion is generally not allowed on a motion to table. Unless you want to withdraw the motion, then I would suggest that you vote on the motion to table. If it's adopted, you'll have to bring this back at another point in time with a special meeting. If it's not adopted, you can then vote on the appropriation ordinance as presented.
This is Alderman Carr. Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Okay. If we go ahead and approve this tonight, when can we expect, or can we expect, and maybe this is a question to ask Chris, when can we expect to get solid information? Can we reopen appropriations?
Can't reopen appropriations, Alderman. I think what Alderman Donahue was trying to tell you is that the information that's listed for the revenue that's included in the ordinance is accurate information. It represents actual revenues for the year 2020. But no, you cannot reopen the appropriation ordinance unless there is supplemental income that comes through the door. Then you can reopen it to address how you want to expend that money. Otherwise, there's a procedure, but no, you can't just there's a procedure to possibly move money from one line item to another, but you can't just reopen the appropriation ordinance. No, that's literally not appropriate.
So
you probably should vote on the motion to table, and then if the motion to table passes, then you have to find a time to go back over this particular ordinance. It has to be adopted no later than the end of the first quarter of 2021, which is May 31st or March 31st, excuse me. So
can I, as far as the revenue, can I explain how things have happened when we go, and Jim Postal and I were talking about this the other day, where he was appropriated $40,000 for a truck. When the money's not there, we just don't buy it. So, I mean, if that satisfies anything as far as the revenue coming in, it's not like everyone spends the money the first day they get it, and we just, based on cash flow is how how, you know, they would work with Chris and say, okay, and the treasurer, what money's coming in, when it's due, and what we can afford to buy. Some of these things are, I don't want to say pie in the sky, but if we, you know, spending a lot of money on fire trucks, if we don't have the cash, we put that off until the next time around if we have to. That's just if that satisfies any kind of question about revenue.
We do this every year. This is nothing but a wish list anyway. You know, the numbers ain't going to change. We had this paperwork for three weeks already. We're going to wait another week and the number's still going to be the same. It's not going to change.
Okay, I have to add, 3 weeks is not enough time for the finance committee to do this. Normally, as far as I understand, finance committee usually did this in 4 months. So well, maybe more. No, it's back in November. If I remember correctly, that's when it used to start. So I don't think it's fair to the finance committee personally.
We can go on, let's table it or not table it. We can start the vote because Kevin put a lot of work into this and I agree with him.
You know what? Let's do the roll call.
So
Okay, this is just a roll call. This will be a roll call on the motion to table. If I'm not mistaken, Alderman Zillman made the motion and Alderman Rita seconded it. So this is on the motion to table.
Okay.
Roll call.
Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
No.
Donahue, no. Hawley.
No.
Hawley, no. Farnwald.
No.
Farnwald, no. Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Carr.
No.
Carr, no. Zillman.
No.
Zillman, no. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O.
No.
Steve-O, no. Johnson.
No.
Johnson, no. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ayes, if I'm not mistaken, and so that motion to table fails.
We have
So
7
now
ayes.
there's a motion. Well, I believe Alderman Donahue made a motion to adopt the appropriation ordinance. I don't know who made it, if there was a second on that motion.
Johnny Hill seconded.
Okay, so you have a motion and a second to adopt the appropriation ordinance.
Roll call, please.
Are there any other questions? If there are any other questions about anything in here, I'd be happy to try and answer or have one of the department directors answer if there was anything regarding expenses, etc.
This is Alderman Alexander. I know we made some more corrections last night, and I don't know if Chris was able to make those corrections, but we still haven't received the final draft. When would the final draft of the appropriations be available?
Chris?
Yes.
Go ahead, if you know.
Oh, no, the changes were very minor. I believe there's like a $3,000 change to one of the accounts. I have it here available this afternoon. The copy that you had already received was prior to those changes. So, I mean, I can make a new one available. It's up to the board.
Any other questions? If not, roll call.
Rita.
This is a pass the appropriation, right?
Correct.
Well, the mayor and his administration has come in with an appropriation at the last hour. It's the principle. It's not fair. It wasn't fair to the finance committee. Alderman Donahue, I appreciate the work you put into this, but it's typical the past couple of years that has gone on, and it's not right and it's not fair. So on that principle, I vote no.
Rita, no. Donahue.
I think he's locked out. He's locked out.
Oh, he's back. Hang on just a second here. Kevin.
Sorry, twice I've gotten kicked
Yeah,
out.
no,
I'm on my phone now. I don't know what's going on. This is to vote to approve?
Correct.
Okay, I vote aye. Thank you.
Donahue, aye. Holly,
This appropriation doesn't look significantly different from previous appropriations. I don't think it's very out of line at all. I know it's not perfect, but no appropriation is perfect. You don't have a crystal ball to know exactly what's coming in or what's going to be spent. Again, it's up to the administration to make sure that money does not get spent that we don't have, and to keep an eye on that. So I'm going to vote aye.
Holly, aye. Barinwald,
Aye.
Barinwald, aye. Hill,
No.
Hill, no. Carr,
Aye.
Carr, aye. Zillman,
I'm gonna vote no.
Zillman, no. Clinker,
No.
Clinker, no. Steve-O,
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson,
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Alexander,
No.
Alexander, no. Bellato,
No.
Bellato, no.
I guess I can vote, right?
Well, you can vote, Mayor, but the motion will fail because there are only 6 ayes in support of it at this time. So a 7th aye would not carry the motion, but it's
Okay.
up to you to vote. You certainly can.
I'll put on aye. I'll vote aye.
Vargas, aye. Fails. 1, 2.
Okay, so the motion fails. At some point, you'll have to schedule a special meeting. The Finance Committee will have to do whatever it thinks is appropriate, I guess, and then schedule a special meeting sometime before I would suggest no later than the 30th.
You know, hey, Carrie, I know we talked Plan B
Yourself some
yesterday. I'm
room.
going to schedule a finance meeting for Monday, March 29th at 6 o'clock. And if the 30th at 7 for the special meeting, if that works for everybody to get this done.
Yes.
Fine with me, Chairman.
So noted. All right.
If there's any questions or comments, everyone has my email or my phone number. I'm not hard to get a hold of. I'd be happy to listen to you.
You want to move on to number 4?
Yeah. So number 4,
Alderman Donahue.
Sure.
Would it be okay if the mayor just calls the meeting, the special meeting? That way we don't need to have 3 aldermen. Sign
yeah.
To call
Sure.
the meeting.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's
Mayor Vargas, are
fine.
you okay with that?
That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so item number 4, it's resolution number 2021-008. It's a resolution approving and authorizing a municipal lease with Harris Golf Cars sales service for the lease of a range vehicle for use of the Meadows Golf Course. So Mr. Ruthenberg, who's our golf course superintendent, he had a family emergency, so wasn't able to jump on. So I'm going to try and explain this. The golf cart, this is the picker for the driving range. And what the picker does is picks up all the golf balls. The one we have right now, I believe it's 7 or 8 years old. Last summer, the picker was going down a lot. So the Meadows staff would have to close the driving range and go and hand pick golf balls, which is a waste of city resources, staff time. It costs us more money. The golf course brings in about $36,000 just for the driving range alone. So this is a vital tool. The Finance Committee, we looked at both purchasing and leasing this option. We decided to go with the lease. We will be paying $1,876.26 every 6 months, May to October. It's costing us total $9,381.30. The reason we went with leasing instead of purchasing is while we could purchase a a maintenance package to cover this. The maintenance package on the lease was a little bit further and covered a lot of the more than just wear and tear, where the purchase maintenance agreement was more wear and tear, where this covers a lot of the issues that we ran into with the current picker. And Mr. Martino, rest in peace, did a very great job of keeping that thing going and moving. And just last year it saw its final legs and it just couldn't do it. So the best option that the finance committee recommends is through the lease of the range picker. This is how we pay for our golf carts and other different items we have at the Meadows that are like this. It is, again, it's for the 6 months, May to October. We won't be making payments the rest of the year on that. So I make a motion to approve. And if there are any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Happy to answer them.
Alderman Rita, I second it.
All right. Any questions? If not, roll call, please.
Rita.
Yeah, I got a question.
Go ahead, Alderman.
It's actually about the golf course, period. Is it possible that we can look at leasing that thing up? Because I don't understand that that piece of property is supposedly, with the assets and everything, is over $3 million, and we make $37,000 profit.
No, it's Dexter. It's $37,000 just off of the driving range. Don't misconstrue what I said. It's the driving range. Profits $37,000.
It has nothing to do with what you said, Chairman Donahue. It was only coming from Sheila. This is what Sheila said. That's what I'm taking those numbers from. Not you.
So I took the numbers right out of the revenue book, because I took the time to read it and understand what we're doing. If this is an important piece of equipment, we're wasting more money if we don't purchase it. So again, I asked for an vote.
I understand that, Chairman Donahue, but it wasn't about your vote. It was a question. The question is, can we look into leasing? That was the question. That was it.
It could be looked into. All right, we got a motion, we got a second. Roll call.
Rita.
Absolutely.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Zillman.
Aye.
Zillman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O.
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. 12 ayes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
That's the last item I have. We will be meeting 6 o'clock on March the 29th on the Zoom channel. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everyone.
My
and
pleasure.
Again,
Thank
if
you.
any comments, suggestions, or something that you would like in the appropriation or like to discuss it again, please reach out. I'm happy to discuss.
Thank you, sir. Public Health and Safety Committee.
We had our meeting last week. I do have the minutes from the February 16th meeting here. So that was called to order February 16th, 2021 at 6:01 p.m. Present were Alderman Farnwell, Clinker, Steve O'Carr, Johnson, Chief Rita, and Interim Chief Farr. Absent was Alderman Hill and Cazares. A motion was made by Carr, seconded by Farnwell to approve the minutes of the January 2021 meeting. Roll call was held. All in favor, motion carried. There was no public comment. Chief Rita presented the January 2021 monthly report. There were 255 EMS responses, 86 fire responses, 11 auto aid, and 0 mutual aid. Medical reimbursement collected $28,690.91 for the month. That's also the year-to-date total since it was January. Fire recovery collected $1,994 for the month. Same thing, year-to-date total. No false fire alarm fees were collected. Under calls of interest, the chief reported a house fire 12223 Maple on January 6th. He assisted Robbins with a house fire on Clifton Park on January 8th, and assisted Riverdale with a house fire on Union on January 12th. Chief Rita reported, this is under general information, that he has continued with the COVID-19 task force and informing elected officials regularly. He was preparing for the appropriations, meeting with apparatus manufacturers and obtaining options. They hired 2 new firefighters, bringing the department back to 27 members. Applied for a grant to the Gary Sinise Foundation for extrication equipment. Truck 2114 was still out of service due to an outrigger jack issue. Under other, Chief presented the monthly training report, which showed 564.5 hours total for the month, including annual bloodborne pathogen training, as well as training on the new Zoll monitors. The 2021 box cards are being updated. Chief reported overtime cost of $16,983.92, and there were 8.5 7G hours for the month. Under old business, Sutphin and Spartan companies both came out with demo tower ladders and discussed engines with the chief as well. Chief stated that he would be able to get a tower ladder and engine for between 1.2 and 1.6 million. He stated he's working on a capital improvement plan along with the appropriations process. 3 members started medic school, and the city is continuing to work on the MOU/side letter along with the union. He will update with details when he has more information. Under new business, Alderman Farnwald asked information for citizens about any COVID-19 vaccination resources the city may have. Fire Chief Rita stated the city's operating separately from the city of Chicago is operating separately from the rest of the state as far as vaccinations and scheduling. Their aldermen have a little more persuasion and can do more advocating for their residents. Chief Rita advised the citizens/seniors to schedule appointments through the county. He realizes it's frustrating and unfortunate. It's kind of a wait and see at this point in time. Alderman Johnson added vaccinations are being done at the new county health building on Western for seniors. Alderman Farnwell suggested senior resources link be added to the city website to find outside resources. He would like to also like a well-being check tab added to the website as well. Chief Farr stated the previous senior citizen database the city had was lost in the crash and is currently being rebuilt. The city clerk also has a partial list of seniors using water rates and senior vehicle stickers. That was the list that was sent to aldermen of each ward back in April of 2020, right when the pandemic started. Alderman Johnson also stated that we could utilize the 4 township websites to get information out. So the 4 townships, Bremen, Worth, Calumet, and what am I missing? Anyway, the 4 townships.
Thornton.
Thornton, thank you. Under police department business, interim chief Farr reported probationary officer Albert Rizek has completed phase 2 of his 4-part training and is doing well. The current staffing is at 31. The department will be hiring 3 additional officers within the next week, with 3 additional going to the academy at the end of March. The various revenue streams from the police department were unavailable and will be included in next month's report. 2,192 incidents, 4 firearms recovered, 1 Narcan deployment for the month. Chief Farr reported overtime costs of $17,691.40, of which $4,784.37 was reimbursable. He stated the keyless door entry system for the department was replaced and was fully functional as of the date of this meeting. Chief states he has had numerous vendors provide costs for body cameras. They are working on this, but are not fully prepared currently to move forward on this issue just yet. Under cases of interest, January 8th and 21, there was an aggravated vehicular hijacking on Greenwood. January 10th, a theft of over $500 at 13799 Sacramento. January 18th, reckless discharge of a firearm on 135th Place. And January 23rd, aggravated battery in the 2400 block of Grove Street. Clerical totals, sworn police totals, monthly patrol totals, and incident reports are not included due to the illness of the person who tabulates them. They will be presented next month. There was no old business. Under new business, the department has joined a vehicular hijacking task force, which consists of Chicago, Cook County Sheriff, FBI, and the U.S. Attorney's Office. This will be used primarily to report hijackings, and we are not currently sending anyone to work on this task force. Alderman Johnson asked about community and cultural diversity training within the department. Chief Farr stated the training is held yearly with the officers, but was unsure of the exact time of year in which it is covered. Chief will provide a better answer to the committee within a day after checking with Sergeant Sepisi, who oversees training. Chief also stated these subjects are covered in the academy for new hires. Alderman Stevo asked if Chief Farr had read the depositions from the Department Harrow case. Chief stated he had read the allegations, but not the depositions yet. Alderman Stevo stated the Robbie Silva case needed to be investigated and asked the chief to get more involved. Alderman Clinker reminded Alderman Stevo that the committee had a discussion at our last meeting regarding this investigation as well as the cold case issue. Alderman Stevo pressed the questioning and Alderman Clinker advised him to review last month's minutes, which were just approved, and to contact the mayor's office as we discussed last month. Alderman Clinker asked if he had discussed these issues with the mayor. Alderman Stevo stated he would bring these up at appropriations. Alderman Stevo requested the police chief go further with the Carlos Salgado case. Alderman Clinker reminded Alderman Stevo that this issue was also discussed at last month's meeting. Chief advised the department has issued over 70 parking tickets, 16 pre-tows, and towed 8 vehicles from snow routes. Alderman Stevo brought up cameras in the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District Waterfall Park. Alderman Clinker reminded Alderman Stevo this was discussed and approved by the committee last June, An email was sent to the mayor's office twice requesting that someone from staff investigate getting this done. There's been no response from the mayor to either email. Alderman Clinker suggested once again that Alderman Stevo should contact the mayor about this request. The health inspector's report, the mayor's secretary had emailed Alderman Clinker that it is okay with the mayor to report to our committee as we requested months ago. Alderman Clinker stated he had requested a report from the health inspector and was informed he would be getting one before the meeting, as at the time of the meeting, nothing had been received. Under Alderman concerns, Alderman Stevo requested the committee develop a 2021 fireworks ordinance. Alderman Clinker stated this issue had also been previously discussed in committee and should start in the Judiciary Committee as was previously discussed. Alderman Clinker advised Alderman Stevo address this issue to the Judiciary Committee chair. Alderman Johnson inquired about the stop signs he's requesting 140th Place in Francisco, if it has been addressed by the Judiciary Chairman. Alderman Clinker will remind her to add it to her next agenda. There was also discussion about towing vehicles on snow routes and asked the chief to stay up on it as far as their resources allow. Chief Farr stated, the manpower is limited and we are reliant on airline towing to remove cars. Since airline tows for multiple municipalities, the wait for a tow truck can be extremely long and sometimes it is not conducive to have an officer sit on a car waiting for a tow. Alderman Stevo brought up the mayor's even odd snow parking plan as something that needs to be addressed. Alderman Johnson believes the city should also plow alleys to get cars off the streets. There was a discussion regarding starting a snow removal task force or discussion. Alderman Farnwell will confer with the municipal services chair regarding that issue. A motion was made by Farnwell, seconded by Carr to adjourn the meeting. Roll call vote was held. Alderman Clinker, Stevo, Carr, and Farnwell voted yes. Alderman Johnson voted no. Motion carried 4-1. Meeting was adjourned at 6:44. Our next meeting was last Tuesday, the 16th, on Zoom. I'll have that report hopefully at the next meeting. And our next meeting is the third Tuesday in April. I think it's the 20th.
Anything else, sir?
That's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Municipal Services Committee?
No report, Your Honor. There are two ordinances on the agenda. I'd like to have them removed. We haven't had a chance to discuss them in our committee.
Okay. All right.
Alderman Carr, this is Kerry Horvath. The one ordinance, I believe, was supposed to go to Judiciary. However, Judiciary did not have an opportunity to review it because there was no quorum. This was a stop sign ordinance that Alderman Johnson had requested. The other ordinance was requested, actually, the Blue Island Park District requested the mayor's office to have an ordinance or a lease prepared to allow them to use the two baseball fields, Schrei Field and Peggy Rauch Field, for an organized youth baseball program. They wanted to start it March 21st. Unfortunately, they did not get the request in until after the first meeting in March. And so we prepared the lease. This program is being conducted by the Park District in conjunction with the Chicago White Sox. And it is a youth baseball program. So I realize you didn't have an opportunity to discuss them, but it was not for lack of an attempt on our part to get it to a committee to review. I would ask if you would, for the benefit of the Park District and the youth baseball program, which they wanted to start on March 21st, this past Sunday, that you would at least consider adopting this ordinance. We prepared the lease. The Park District has presented a certificate of insurance for the benefit of the city, and the use of the fields would begin, as I said, March, well, as soon as the ordinance is passed, and then would end, I believe, in August. They would use the fields Monday through Saturday. They would not be using the fields on Sunday. So it's up to you, but if you don't mind at least considering allowing the lease to be adopted so they can operate their youth baseball program on the two fields the city owns. I'm sure the Park District would greatly appreciate it.
I just find it, I just find it a little disconcerting that things are thrown on the city council agenda. And I didn't know anything about this until Friday when I got the city council agenda. No one contacted me. I don't have any emails.
Alderman, I don't know what to tell you. We asked the Judiciary Committee to consider it, and the Judiciary Committee did not meet. So it's up to you. It's a boys baseball or a youth baseball program on fields owned by the city. If you don't want to go forward with it, that's fine. As I said, the Park District did not request the lease until after the first meeting in March. But given the fact that they wanted to be accommodated and they are a municipal organization in Blue Island, we prepared the lease for them, or we prepared the lease for you to hopefully adopt. But if you don't want to do it, don't do it. It's not my call.
I think it's a great idea.
And then Alderman Johnson specifically requested at the last meeting that this ordinance be adopted for Francisco Avenue and 140th Place. And so we prepared that as well. It's a stop sign ordinance.
I understand that, but procedure would be that ordinances go through 2 committees before they're brought to city council.
I'm just
and if they
pointing
weren't
out,
able to be brought to judiciary, they haven't been even through 1 committee.
I'm just pointing out the facts. If you
Hi,
don't
this
want
is
to do it, you don't have to do it, okay?
Let the
Alderman
kids
Rita,
play.
the baseball was not brought to judiciary, and I apologize that we did not have a quorum. Unfortunately, I had my COVID shot that night, and I didn't anticipate getting ill. So, and the other thing was with the stop sign on Francisco, I thought that Alderman Alexander had information on that as well. So
It's your call.
Alderman,
It's your call. If somebody wants to make a motion to adopt the ordinances, the city council can do so. If you don't want to make a motion, you do not have to.
Alderman Carr, this is Alderman Steve-O. I am a member of your Municipal Service Committee, and I'm asking for you to look past this, what happened. We have to keep our youth busy. We have to give them recreation, especially in this time of COVID. It's for the best interest of our youth and the best interest in our community
No,
that we pass both these ordinances. We have to look past
I
it.
second the motion.
I feel like I'm really I'm being put on the spot, and lack of planning on the part of the Park District now all of a sudden becomes an emergency on our part.
Well, I believe the March meeting was your Municipal Service Committee was not held, lack of a quorum. Isn't that correct?
Well, that's true, but I was ready to hold it. I put out the agenda.
I was ready to attend.
Well, I understand that, but we didn't have a quorum.
Alderman Carr, our youth need this.
And these
There's
two
a
ordinances
motion
were
and
not
there's a
on the
second.
agenda.
Just vote
There's a motion and a second. Roll call.
Which motion are you, which ordinance are you,
I have to be separate, don't I?
are Alderman Steve-O, are you moving ordinance 2021-007 to be adopted? That is an ordinance authorizing the leasing of certain public property within the city of Blue Island, Cook County, Illinois, for use by the Blue Island Park District for an organized youth baseball program.
Yes, I am. That's correct.
And who was the second?
I think Dexter Johnson.
Dexter
Alderman
Johnson. Thank you.
And just a quick comment, I don't think the Blue Island Little League's coming back. So this will be the only youth baseball for boys and girls in the neighborhood. I understand the process. I get the stop sign issue. That I'd be okay holding that, but I think it's important that we approve the use of Schrei Field and Peggy Rauch, because they're the only 2 baseball diamonds with 60 feet bases and the pitching mound for kids
4 to 12 that could play on, because the softball diamonds aren't baseball regulation. Hart Park is now a 90-foot baseball diamond, so it's too big for the little kids to play on.
Okay.
So I support the baseball one, but I will not be supporting the stop sign until that does go to committees.
Along with,
I'm not saying no to these. You know, it would be putting them off for 3 weeks.
I don't think
in order to follow proper procedure.
Candace, Alderman Carr, I don't think they can. I think they're supposed to be starting. What I believe, from what I understand, the White Sox is part of the White Sox. It's like a feeder program for the White Sox, and it's supposed to be started because the surrounding teams are starting. So they just, they're like Kevin said, they're placing, instead of the Little League, there's no more Blue Island Little League. So this way there'll be something in Blue Island, and they need to start like ASAP.
Roll call.
Rita,
Well, just for clarification, are we voting on the stop sign or the baseball?
Well, you're voting on the use of the ball fields, Alderman.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, I'm voting yes, but again, as I mentioned with the appropriation, at the last minute, last ditch effort, putting things on the agenda without communicating or calling aldermen or talking, it's just frustrating, but I vote yes. I mean, it's.
Marita, just so you know, the letter was submitted by the Park District to the mayor's office on March 11th, asking for the use of the fields to begin March 21st.
Okay, that's fine, Mr. Horvath, but you know what? Waiting to the last second to get it to us, I mean, you know, an email could go out. I mean, it's ridiculous. Don't turn it around.
Spare me your criticism on this one, Alderman. This is for youth baseball.
Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
Aye.
Hawley, aye. Farnwell.
Aye.
Farnwell, aye. Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Carr.
I've got nothing against youth baseball. I'll say aye.
Carr, aye. Zillman.
Aye.
Zillman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O.
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. 12 ayes.
Thank you.
What's your pleasure with respect to the ordinance concerning the stop sign at 140th and Francisco?
I would like to put that on municipal services agenda for April the 13th.
You would have to make a motion to table.
It can't just be withdrawn from the agenda.
I've been asking for it for months. For months.
If I might just mention, April 13th, I don't know how else to put it. It's going to be a lame duck period. I don't know what's going to happen. I think Alderman Johnson has been asking this for an awful long time. I'll vote for it. I'll just put it that way.
Somebody has to either make a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I will make a motion. I will make a motion to table this. Donahue makes a motion to table this item.
Is there a second?
Yes, Alderman Rita.
All right, then roll call, please.
Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
Aye.
Donahue, aye. Hawley.
No.
Hawley, no. Farnwell.
No.
Farnwell, no. Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Zillman.
Aye.
Zillman, aye. Clinker.
I'm saying aye, just so we follow proper procedure on this one.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O.
No.
Steve-O, no. Johnson.
No, because there's already been 2 bad accidents in that spot. No.
Johnson, no. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To table.
Motion to table passes.
Anything else from municipal services?
No, that's all.
Thank you very much. Judiciary Committee?
No report.
Okay, thank you. Council, do we have a 7?
We do have an executive session to discuss a pending claim filed against the city for property damage to a motor vehicle. It should be a short closed session. But you need a motion to go into executive session.
Let me throw this at City Clerk. Do we have the number?
Yeah, I texted everyone, I emailed everyone the number, well, just before the meeting started. And then we'll come back using the same meeting number to restart this meeting.
All right. Can you text it to this number? Because my city phone went down. Please.
Hang on a
Also, this is Alderman Hill. Randy, can you text it to me as well?
Well, I can, you know what? Why don't I give you the numbers? It's the same, and then I just won't let people in if they come in or try to.
All right, that's fine.
Okay, so it's still the same phone number, 312-626-6799 or the zoom.us.
Okay.
And then the webinar ID is 871-9157-7586.
Got it.
Password of 923985.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Everyone got it?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, we need a motion to go to closed.
Can I please have that number again?
Who is this?
I'm a part of the property damage claim.
This is going to be closed session. You'll have
Oh.
to, you just have to keep calling back in to see what we can come back in.
This is Alderman Rita. I'll second it.
Someone needs to make a motion to go into closed session. I know you seconded it, Alderman Rita, but I don't think there was a motion yet.
I'm sorry. I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
Motion Hill seconds. Roll call. Rita.
Aye.
Rita, aye. Donahue.
Aye, Randy.
Okay, Donahue, aye. Holly.
Aye.
Holly, aye. Farnwell. Farnwell already ducked out. Hill.
Aye.
Hill, aye. Carr.
Aye.
Carr, aye. Zillman.
Aye.
Zillman, aye. Clinker.
Aye.
Clinker, aye. Steve-O.
Aye.
Steve-O, aye. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye. Alexander.
Aye.
Alexander, aye. Bellato.
Aye.
Bellato, aye. Megan. Megan.
Randy, I have her phone number. I know
Okay.
Megan, so I'll just text her when
There
we're
you go.
done with
Thank you.
executive.